Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel Marketing with
Hello and welcome. You're now looking at the TechSmith.com website, and in particular, you're looking at the section for Snagit, its screen capture program. Snagit is designed to work on your desktop computer, whether it's Windows or Mac, to capture a screenshot or a video. It's also made to take that screenshot and to help you to be able to annotate it with identifying information. What this does is it allows you to create detailed and accurate graphics for your instructional content. The program integrates with other applications, specifically both Microsoft and Google, in addition to Evernote, YouTube, Dropbox, and others. Now, although the program is not Camtasia, it does function as a screen recorder, allowing you to record yourself working through specific steps. That means then that you are allowed to record your webcam as well as audio content. You can create animated GIFs, trim down video clips, and then record your entire iOS screen. Now, Snagit starts with a free trial as well as allowing you to buy the program outright. It's possible that you may already have a version of Snagit on your personal computer. In that case, you can upgrade that version for less than the full price. And we'll talk about that in the next video. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video. Welcome back. Now, one of the things you can do with the effects box is you can do 2 effects at a time. So for example, let's say that we were going to continue. We were going to use a border. But then what we also wanted to do was we wanted to add in another effect. So what we can do is we can then click Add Another Effect. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a second effect. In this case, we're going to add in a filter effect. Now we're going to customize each effect. In this case, we're just going to customize the border. We're then going to customize our filter also. We're going to invert the color. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in another effect. This time we're going to add in another effect, and we're going to add in the capture info effect. So now we basically have 3 effects that we're going to be capturing at the same time. So we're going to go to our capture button. We're going to capture, in this case, a file. We're going to open up that file. It's going to open up into our editing screen with the 3 effects inside of that image. You're going to see all 3 of them here. If we want to go back and we want to redo the same image with different effects, what we can do is we can then remove the effects if we don't like them and the way that they came out, and then we can capture the image again. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Now within the Image tab, you will make a specific selection. Now each selection then can have an effect with it. So for example, we can do the file selection, and then we can then capture that file with a specific effect. So for example, let's assume that we're going to capture the file, and we're going to do so with a border. Now once we use that border, we can then click on this settings gear, and then we can do some settings. So for example, we can widen the border, we can change the color of the border, and then once we have it the way we want it, we can then capture. And then we're going to choose the file. We're then going to click Open, and you'll see the image now captured with a border around it for us to be able to use with our content. We can also use a filter. In this case, we're going to click on the settings gear, and then we're going to choose a specific filter. So for example, we can say that what we want to do is to invert the colors, and then we can then capture the image. We'll click Capture. We'll open it into our editor. And you'll see now that the colors of the image have changed. The original colors looked with this background. However, with colors inverted, our image looks different. In addition to the filters, we can also use a shadow. I'm going to click Capture. We're going to grab our image. And then our editor is going to open again. When our editor opens, we'll then see the shadow that we have on. We can also, with our selection, create capture information. If we click on the gear icon, we can determine how much info we're going to place with the image once it is captured, as well as to customize that information. For example, in this case, we can customize the font. We can then click Capture. So basically, we can capture the image using any of the menu items that we have here in order to enhance our overall image. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. If we go one step down in our capture window, you're going to see 3 drop-down boxes. You're going to see a selection box, an effects box, and a share box. Now, the selection box will allow you to be specific about the area that you're going to be grabbing. So, for example, you can choose to grab a specific region. And if that's the case, when you click the capture button, you're going to be able to specify the region of the screen, and you're going to be able to do that by selection. You're going to be able to capture the entire window. If that's the case, when you click the capture button, you'll then be capturing the entire window, as you can see. We're now going to click the escape button. We can choose to capture the full screen. We click capture. That's going to allow us to capture the full screen. We can choose to capture a scrolling window. And that's going to be similar to the panoramic window. When we click scrolling window, we're going to click capture, and then this is going to open us up into the window. And what we can do is we can click the arrows so we can capture a vertical scrolling area. In this case, we're just going to click the down arrow, and then what's going to happen is that Snagit is going to scroll for you and process your entire capture using the automatic controls. You can also do the panoramic window, which you can do in the all-in-one area, and you can do something interesting called grab text. In this case, we're going to click this link, we're going to capture, and then what we're going to do is we're going to highlight a specific area. In this case, we're going to highlight this area of our screen. That's going to bring us into an editing window, and instead of just giving us the image, Snagit is going to grab the text, and we can then use this text in our content. Now, there are also advanced features, and if we go to this advanced menu, you're going to see that we can capture a specific object. We can also select multiple areas. So in this case, we click capture, and what we would do is we would select the multiple areas. We'd select one area. We can select a second area. Once we release the mouse, we can then click Finish. That's going to bring us into our editor, and you're going to notice that we have 2 images inside of our editor. Now lastly, we're going to skip down to the file, because what we can do with the file capture is we can click this capture button, and basically that's going to have us look to our hard drive. We can grab a specific image or a specific file. We can indicate that file here. We can open that file into our editor, and you'll see the file open in our editor here. So basically, the selection tab allows us to select something specific and then use it in our content. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to look at sharing our file into desktop applications like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Microsoft OneNote. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set Microsoft PowerPoint as the application to use. And of course, this is going to be similar to Word or any of the other Microsoft applications. Now again, for this video, we have turned off the preview and editor. So we're going to capture a specific region, and we're going to capture that region using this capture button. We're going to take a screenshot of a specific portion of the page, and then we're going to have our capture sent to PowerPoint in this case. You may get a dialog box here that says you're going to need to activate the busy program. You're going to click Switch to. And when we open up PowerPoint, you will see our image in our document. Now again, this is going to work the same way with the other forms such as OneNote and Word. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now also within the Image tab, there is also a Share drop-down menu box. And you're going to see all of the ways in which you can share and output your file. And you're going to see, first, desktop-related formats. You're also going to see program-related formats also in your desktop. And then you're also going to see cloud-based services. Within there, you also have, if you own Camtasia and TechSmith Relay, you can output your content into those two TechSmith-related programs. Now in this video, we're going to cover the form or file-related objects. So for example, we can output or share our content in the form of a file. So what we'll do here is we're then going to capture the image. And what we're going to do is we're going to change it to a specific region. Now before we capture the region, we're going to specify a specific file. We're going to click our gear, and then we're going to determine the file type. Now this file is turned into a PDF. What we're then going to do is we're going to make sure that this is going to be an automatic file name. We're going to create our file naming settings. Once we do that, we're going to click OK. And basically, we've now set parameters for this to be shared into a file. We're then going to click Capture. We're now going to capture a specific area. And we're then going to allow our content to be created. Now what you'll notice is that you have the editor where you can then save the content into the form that you want. However, what we want to do is we want to have the file created automatically. So what we're going to do is we're going to minimize our Snagit editor. And we're going to turn off Preview and Editor. Now what we want to do is we then want to capture the same information. And we want it to be shared into a specific file. We're now going to choose the folder where we want our content to be shared. Now once we've done that, we're then going to click Capture. We're then going to capture our image again. And this time, our file will then be created automatically. And what you'll notice is that we have turned off the editor preview. Now what we should be able to do is to go to our folder and find the file that we just created. And you'll see our file here that we created. If we double click it, you'll see the PDF file that we created. Now what we can also do is we can also save our content into email, into our document to be printed, and into our FTP format. Now, next video, we're going to look at moving our file into applications resident on our personal computer. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, Snagit will allow you to share your screenshot into other desktop-based applications. So for example, if we go to this drop-down menu, you're also going to see here at the bottom, you have both MS Paint as well as Adobe Photoshop. So if you have Adobe Photoshop installed, you can share your capture inside of Adobe Photoshop for additional editing. You can also share inside of Microsoft Paint. So in this case, we're going to click on Microsoft Paint. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to capture a part of the screen. Once our capture bar is open, we're just going to capture the part of the screen. And then what we're going to do is we're going to see a place to put our file name. We'll then click Save. Then we'll see our image come into our program. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Now, once you have access to screencast.com, what you can do is you can go to your share button, you can go to the drop-down menu, and then you can go to screencast.com. What you're going to want to do is to click this gear so that you can put in your login and password. You're going to choose a default folder for your TechSmith account, or you can choose to prompt for the file name and folder every time that you do this. You can choose to put your URL and thumbnail on the clipboard. And then once you do that, you can then click Save. Now what you have is a way of taking a screenshot and then sharing that screenshot with a direct link. So what you're going to do is you're going to click this capture button, and you're then going to take your screenshot. Then that image will be sent to your Screencast account. You're going to give that file a name and choose the folder. Once you do that, you'll then click OK. What you'll then want to do is you'll then want to view the link inside of your browser. Or you can click this button that says Get the Link. TechSmith will then give you a link inside of your browser. What you're then going to do is click this Share button. You'll then copy this link in order to give to those with whom you want to share, or you will embed the code into your website. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. You are now looking at the website screencast.com. Screencast.com is a TechSmith related website, and you will want to use a free account that you get with your TechSmith account, because you will then be able to share your Snagit content using screencast.com by creating links with a limited free hosting account. Now what you'll notice is that if you have a free Screencast account, content that you've not used in over a year will be deleted from the website. So this is not going to be a permanent hosting site. Now you can upgrade to pay for a Screencast Pro account. As of the recording of this video, a Screencast Pro account is going to be $9.95 a month, and it will give you access to 30 gigabytes of storage as well as 240 gigabytes of monthly bandwidth. However, as stated, you can sign in and create a free account to integrate with your Snagit account. And you can do that with the same email address that you use to sign up for Snagit to create your TechSmith account. And with your free Screencast.com account, you can check into your TechSmith account, you can go to My Products, and you can look at your subscriptions. You should see your subscription to Screencast.com even if you have a free account, and then TechSmith will tell you how much space you are using and how much you have left. It will also tell you how much bandwidth you're using as well as how much storage you are using. Once you have your account, you are then ready to begin using it with the integration portal in Snagit. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. In order to start with Snagit, you can start with the free trial. This will allow you to download a full version of Snagit for 15 days. Or if you already know that you want the program, you can go to this button and you can buy the program outright. As of the recording of this video, the current version of Snagit is $49.95. You can buy an additional year of maintenance for $12.49. Now it's possible that you may have a current version of Snagit on your personal computer. If that's the case, you can go to this help area. You can click on this link that says check for updates. And when you click that link, you're going to come up with this dialog box. You're going to click the Learn More button. That's going to bring you to an area where you can upgrade your Snagit version. And we're going to go ahead and click this upgrade button. We're going to go ahead and add the additional year of maintenance, then click Add to Cart. We're then going to go to Checkout. Now what you can do is you can opt to have your card billed on an annual basis, and if you already have an account for Snagit or for Camtasia, you can use that account by signing in here. Once we have our order, we're going to download the Snagit installer. If you still have the old version open while you're doing the install, you're going to need to close that version. Once you've done that manually, you'll then click this button that says Close Snagit. You'll then want to make sure that you read the license terms, and once you do that, you'll then click Accept. You'll then click Install. You'll then go through the install process. Once the process is complete, you can then click Continue. What you'll then want to do is to enter your software key. Once you do that, your Snagit window will then be on your desktop. You'll then be ready for your use. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now we can share our content to multiple applications. So in this case, we can set our share link first to Screencast, and then we can come back to our drop-down menu, and we're going to add in another destination. We're then going to add in MS Paint. We can then come back to our drop-down menu, and we can add in another destination. We're then going to add in, this time, one of our cloud-based applications, Google Drive. What we're then going to need to do is we're going to need to make an adjustment to the options. So we're going to click on this gear, and then we're going to sign into the appropriate Google Drive account using our Snagit account. We're going to choose our Google Drive options, and then we're going to click OK. Now, when we create our share, we're going to have our content going to 3 places. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click the Capture button. We're then going to go ahead and capture a portion of the screen. We're then going to make our capture complete. We're first being asked to save our file. And then we'll see that our document is inside of MS Paint. Now we'll also have a dialog box since we actually sent this to our Screencast account. So we're going to give this particular link and document a name. And then we're going to click OK. It's going to be shared to Screencast. We're then going to want to click this View link. Now, if in some cases you miss the opportunity to get access to the link, that link is then going to be inside of your clipboard. So for example, if we were to open up a new document and then we were to paste what was on our clipboard, we'll then see our Screencast link. We have a third option that we uploaded to Google Drive. So we're going to give this file name a name. And we're then going to click Upload. The file is then sent to Google Drive. To get the link to the location of the file, what we can do then is we can then paste the link to a notepad file where we can find it. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Now, if you want to share your video using Screencast, you can use the direct integration. In this case, what you're going to do is you're going to go to this share area, and you're then going to click on screencast.com. You'll already have your account integrated, and if you haven't, you'll need to click this gear in order to set it up. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go through the capture process. Then what we're going to do is we're going to choose the window. We're going to click inside of that window. Then the process is going to initialize. What we're then going to do is we're going to click the record button. And then once we click the record button, Then the recording will begin. We'll then be recording our screen. What we will then do is we will then click the Finish Recording button. That will process the video, and then that video will then be uploaded to Snagit. Now, because we have the editor open, what we need to do to finish the process is we need to click this green button. That's going to go through the Snagit process. And then we're going to have our screencast.com link. We can either get the link from here, or what we can do is we can then open up a notepad file, and then we can then paste our link. Our screencast link will then be there in order for us to share our video. Now, this can be especially useful if you are attempting to diagnose a technical problem, either as an individual in need of support or as an individual providing support. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, there are three primary ways that you can operate Snagit, and you're going to see the Snagit menu, which you can move around your personal computer or your screen wherever you want it to be. There's also your Snagit editor, and this is where you'll be working with your screenshots once you create them. If you want to open the editor, you can use your menu and open up the editor by clicking this link. That's going to bring you into the Snagit editor. Now, this is grayed out in this case, but you're going to be logged into the Snagit editor, giving you access to the TechSmith server. What we're now going to do is we're going to minimize the Snagit editor. You'll then see your screen again, and the other thing that you'll have available to you will be the one-click screen. And you're going to see here that what we're going to do is move our cursor toward the one-click screen. That's going to bring down the area that you can use in order to start your screen share captures. In order to exit Snagit altogether, all you'll need to do is to go to this area, and there you'll be able to edit Snagit. What you can also do is go to the view screen. You're going to see there that it says hide one click. That's going to get rid of your one-click window that we had right here at the top. If you want to bring that one-click window back, you're going to go to the view screen. You're going to click show one click. That's going to be here at the top, and you'll be able to have it available to you. Now, if you're using multiple screens, you can take that one-click menu and you can move it other places, not only on your first screen, but you can move it off your screen altogether into an area of your personal computer. And what we're going to do here is we're going to bring the one-click menu back. What you're going to notice when we put it down near the end or near the middle, it goes over off your screen so that it's out of your way. In order to get it back, all you'll do is hover over it. That'll bring the menu where you want it to be. And those are going to be the basics of operating Snagit on your interface. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, inside of your Snagit menu, you're going to have your basic settings. Now, again, you can move this Snagit menu to your taskbar by using the minimize key. You can bring it back by going to click on Snagit. That's going to bring it back to where you want it to be. You have some basic settings. Basically, if you want to make sure that your capture or screenshot is automatically previewed inside of your editor, you're going to indicate that with this control. If you want it to be copied to the clipboard, you're going to indicate it with this control. So this will also move the capture to your clipboard automatically. If you want to make sure to capture the cursor inside of your image, you can do that. If you don't want to, you can turn that off. Now, in order to set up your captures, what you can do is you can turn on a 5-second delay, which the process will not start right away until you get fully set up. Again, by default, this is going to be turned off. One tab down, you have specific settings for your image. If you want to grab the text inside of an image, you can indicate that inside of this control. You can also grab a specific region, window. You can grab the full screen or a scrolling window. And again, we're going to be looking at these in other videos. You can have certain effects in what you capture, and you're going to be able to indicate that here in this menu. And you have all the same controls if you're grabbing an image. And one of the things you're going to notice is that when you're using the grab text, there are going to be some of these controls that are not going to be available. When you're grabbing a specific region, those options will come back. Now, of course, with Snagit, you can capture and create a video. If you're going to do that, you have options that are going to be available to you. If you want to have your webcam as part of the capture, you can turn that on. You can also make sure to capture your microphone or your voice while you're doing your capture. You're going to see that you can capture a region or window when you're doing video, and that you can share your video into certain places. For example, when you complete your video, you can have it shared into Screencast, Camtasia in order to be edited, or some other areas for your video. So before you start a series of screen captures, you're going to want to set your preferences before you start the process. If you determine that you're going to do an image, you're going to do these settings. If you're going to be capturing into a video, you're going to be working with these settings. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. You're going to see a Snagit menu across the top, and basically each of these menu items controls certain functions. If you go into the file area, what you can do is you can import presets from other Snagit installations that you have. You can export your presets so that you can use them on Snagit if it is installed on another personal computer. You can use this link to close your capture window. It typically means you can bring it back by going to this area and clicking on it to bring it back. You also have your preferences as to how Snagit treats your captures. You're going to click Cap Preferences, and you're going to be able to control how Snagit does your captures. And again, most of this you'll want to look at again once you actually start doing your captures. You have capture, specific preferences, as well as hotkeys. And again, you're going to use your hotkeys using Snagit on a regular basis. One thing to note is that when you have Snagit installed, you can use your print screen button on your keyboard wherever it is. If you click the print screen button, you're going to see your capture window become available to you. In order to make the capture lines go away, you're going to click the escape button. And then you'll see that your capture window will come back. In the edit screen, you can reset all of your current settings. You can also manage your custom program destinations. You can control different aspects of the programs that your images can open into. So for example, we can control how Snagit uses MS Paint. We can control how Snagit uses Adobe Photoshop. When we're doing videos, we can control how Snagit uses Windows Media Player. We also have a view command. It's here that we're going to have our output preferences. When you open up, basically you're going to be able to control how Snagit interacts with your output. And in each case, you'll be able to customize all of your output available settings. Now again, some of this you'll want to leave on the default until you actually start using some of these settings on a regular basis. And then in your help menu, you have other logistical aspects of using Snagit. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now we're going to start with the capture window that we have here on our screen, and we're going to use the all-in-one capture feature. And basically what we're going to start by doing is clicking this capture button. We are going to use the default settings, which is Snagit will then take the image that we create and put it into the Snagit editor. We're not going to copy it into our clipboard. We are going to include the cursor in our capture. We're going to leave off the 5-second delay. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this capture button. Now remember, what we can also do is we can click the print screen button, but for the sake of this video, what we're going to do is we're going to click the capture button. What we're then going to see are going to be the capture parameters. And basically what we're going to do without clicking on our mouse is we're going to move it to the uppermost point that we're going to start our capture. And then we're going to click on the mouse button, and then we're going to start to draw the capture screen. Once we've drawn the entirety of the capture screen that we want, we're then going to release the mouse button. And then our capture is then ready for us to decide what we want to do with the capture. What we can do is decide to turn this capture into an image. When we click on this image, what's going to happen is that the capture is then going to open into the Snagit editor. And this is where we can use the menu items to begin to work with our image. What we can do then with this image is we can take the file command. We can then save this image as the form that we want it to be. We're going to click Save As. Now we can save this as a number of different kinds of images as demonstrated by this drop-down menu. So what we're going to do is decide to save this as a PNG file, and we're going to give this file a name. What we're then going to do is click the Save button. What you're then going to notice here at the bottom of our editor, you're going to see our image that we have available to us, and you're also going to see the form that we saved it to. What we're now going to do is we're going to minimize the Snagit editor window, and we're going to do that in this area at the top right. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now we're going to create the same image with our all-in-one menu again. We're going to click the capture button. We're going to go to the upper left-hand corner, and basically we're going to draw the same image again. And this time we're going to bring it into our feature window here, and this time what we're going to do is we're going to click this button that says record a video. When we click that button, then Snagit will then initiate a video, and basically we'll be recording a video. Now you will have a mic enabled available to you, and that will be recording this area. And basically when we have completed our recording, we're then going to push this button, or we can click the Shift 9 button to end the recording. That's then going to bring us to this point. It's then going to replay the video. We'll then click the Finish Recording button. That's going to bring the video into the Snagit editor. And basically you're going to see the video that you just created. What you're going to do then is you're going to go to your file command. You're then going to save this video as the format that you want it to be. In this case, you can save it as an MP4 file. We're going to give your MP4 file a name, and then we're going to click the Save button. Now what we can also do is we can download this same video as a GIF file or as a PNG. And basically when we save these as these formats, we'll be saving frames if we're not saving the entire video. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. This time we're going to go to a wider page so that we can capture a wider area. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our capture window back. And basically we're going to do the same thing that we did before. What we're going to do is click the capture button. We're then going to go to this uppermost corner in the left-hand side. We're going to capture part of the window. And then we're going to release the mouse button. That's going to bring us to this stage. And basically what we're going to do then is we're then going to launch a panoramic capture. And to do that, we're going to click this button. What that's going to do is it's going to allow us to capture more of the screen. And we're going to do that in a panoramic sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this Start button. And basically what we're going to do is we're then going to scroll the content into the selected area. So we're going to use our scroll button. And then what we're going to do is then click the Stop button. We're then going to process the capture. It's then going to bring our scroll window into this capture editor. And then we can save this as an image in the way that we want to save it. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. So we're going to come back to the all-in-one tool, and then we're going to do a panoramic scrolling image. We're going to click the capture button. And what we're going to do is we're going to then draw our picture. When we do this, what we want to do is we want to set the width of the picture. So for example, we are going to then draw this entire width because we want to capture the entire width even as we scroll through it. What we're then going to see is we're going to see our panoramic window as well as the size. We're then going to click our panoramic window button. That's going to give us this button to start our panoramic capture. Now, because we already have the entire width, all we need to do now is create the length, and we're going to do that by scrolling. So basically, we can use our scroll button on our mouse, or we can use the down arrow, whichever one works on your PC. And if you look down in the bottom right-hand corner of the window, you're going to see how our image is progressing as we scroll through it. And you'll see that it's getting wider as well as longer. Once we've completed this image, we can click stop. The image will then be processed, and then it's going to come up into our editing screen. And you'll see the entire window here. So basically what you want to try to do is you want to try to set your width first, and then you want to scroll down and set the width. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.